But right now, we're going to another EA game. Joining me is Mike Young, the creative director of Madden. I haven't seen you in a few years since I was down in Orlando, but got to say, you opened up EA Play yesterday with Long Shot, the story mode for Madden, which looked like Mahershala Ali is in there. It looks pretty crazy. So I want to talk about that because FIFA did that. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, I know you've always been sort of a guy who's passionate about the presentation and story in Madden. FIFA did it last year with the Journey. Yep. Not to say that you guys said, hey, that works, so we should do it here. I'm sure you've been thinking about it for years. Yeah. But when you want to do a story mode for Madden, where do you even start?
Well, we started actually 4 years ago, and our goal was to write a great story. So we started with the script, and we worked on it for about 2 years.
So 4 years?
4 years.
So is this something you maybe going to do a previous year and kept building on it?
Well, I've probably pitched 10 different story modes throughout my whole career at EA.
So why was this the year?
I think a big part of it was Frostbite Engine. To tell the type of story we wanted to tell, it just wasn't possible before. I mean, this story has 45 characters, all shapes, sizes, ages, gender, 45 different sets from off the field, bedrooms and front yards and Texas high schools. And we just couldn't have built something of that massive scale and scope without Frostbite. So I think that's why it took this long.
Okay.
And then I think the last couple of years we've had a lot of success with our cinematic intros to Madden, starting in 15, where you're Cam Newton, you're in the huddle, you're mic'd up, and we got such a good response to that. I think that's where my bosses started to believe that our fans do want this.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, FIFA got a great response to the Journey last year. I want to ask you about the gameplay of this, because we saw the trailer and it looked very cool and cinematic. But tell me, I mean, what's the gameplay experience? What is the narrative? Like, where does this, when I hit play on Long Shot, what am I doing?
So we designed this to be a campaign mode.
Okay.
So it's going to feel like a seamless movie quality story. Okay. There's no load times. You're just going scene to scene, interacting. There's a lot of
so third person, I'm the character walking around, or how does it fit?
There's no walking around.
Okay.
It has some Telltale inspirations.
Okay.
There's branching dialogue choices with meaningful choices that aren't just about expressing personality.
So there's scenes, effectively.
There's scenes, movie-type scenes. Yep. There's quick-time events. There's 7-on-7 football. Okay. You're at an interactive combine.
Okay.
There's just so much that's so different about this, but constantly there's a lot of variety going from practice fields to games to high school games.
To, so right, you're not just playing in NFL stadiums.
Well, in fact, there's not a single NFL game in Long Shot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is an origin story about Devin Wade, a Texas-born quarterback who was one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Texas, lived his dream of going to be a Longhorn, Texas Longhorn. That career, you'll find out in the story, didn't go so well. He walked away from the sport, and our story picks up at this year's regional combine. Him, Devin Wade, and his best friend Colt Cruz are going to give their dream one last shot. So our story takes place between the combine and this year's draft.
Interesting. Okay, so what is the goal of this? Is to just sort of come back?
The goal is to get drafted.
Okay.
So if you think about it in a Rudy sense, his dream was just play.
Right.
Devin is undraftable at the beginning of this.
Wow.
And so you're taking him and you're responsible for both Devin and Colt's chances of getting to the NFL. It's really a redemption story. It's about helping someone, engage in their dream. And so I think it's really relatable. It's really emotional. I think people are going to love Devin and Colt. The acting in this mode is incredible. It feels like a movie quality experience.
And what I love about the Journey, it's like, for future Maddens, assume people like it, you can kind of continue the story year after year, because you're going to be doing a game every year, so it's like where he goes, and I love to start right back at the beginning, and it's like he's not playing in the Super Bowl this year, but who knows?
Yeah, I think we've seen that kind of cliche storyline, and we really wanted to go on some new territory with how you play and what the story experience be like. We wanted this to be an original story, not kind of a retread of things we've seen before.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to see you guys innovating like this on the story side with Madden. I appreciate you coming down from EA Play to hang with us, Mike.
Oh, it's awesome.
Look forward to seeing more.
Cool. Thank you very much.
All right, great to see you.